What's up, everybody? So today we're going for the Chroma Flux camos in Endgame, and yeah, we're just running some LMGs and trying to get this camo challenge done. And I just wanted to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about some stuff with the upcoming Modern Warfare 4. Obviously, we've gotten some new details over the last couple months. We've learned that the game is going to be obviously next gen. It's no longer going to be releasing on like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which is stuff that we've learned a bit ago. And I made a video about that, but again, I just kind of wanted to make a more general video, kind of just breaking down like all the details about Modern Warfare 4. So we know also that the game won't be coming straight to Game Pass. It's going to be a much later title, probably 6 months at least, before it comes to Game Pass. We also have some campaign details that have kind of leaked over time, such as the fact that the game is probably going to be taking place in South Korea, or at least in, the South North Korean area, which is the first COD, I think, to ever have a Korean setting. I don't think we've ever, unless maybe some older Call of Duty has done it at some point, but I don't think so. I think this is the first game to have a Korean setting. It picks up directly after the events of Modern Warfare 3, which I'm hesitant on, obviously. I really didn't like some of the story beats of the third game. While I'm not as harsh on the third game, I think, as some people are, I still am not super thrilled with certain aspects of the story. And in case people haven't played Modern Warfare 3, I'm not going to spoil a lot, even though I figure if you're watching this video, you probably either have played it or know the story beats at this point. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in that. I was kind of honestly hoping that maybe they would kind of just say that 3 story wasn't canon, just kind of ignore it. But yeah, I get that that's a hard thing to do when, it was a numbered title and now they're making 4, so obviously I guess 3 has to be canon. But it is disappointing in that regard. Also, there's rumor that there's going to be 3 different playable factions in the game: Task Force 141, the British SAS, and the Republic of Korea Army. Obviously, the tone's going to be a shift away from the heroic tropes and a bit more of a morally ambiguous, results-oriented style of warfare, which I think kind of tracks. I really get the feeling at the end of Modern Warfare 3 that we're kind of going down a road of Task Force 141 really becoming more of a, independent, disavowed group by the U.S. government, so obviously that kind of makes a lot of sense with the game. I think that, I don't know if they're going to lean that hard into it, but that definitely felt like the tone that they were leaning towards, where it was going to be a lot more of a off the books, they're kind of their own group, kind of doing their own thing kind of feeling. So obviously I think that works. It seems like Makarov's going to remain the antagonist. I'm not thrilled about that either. I don't feel like I've really vibed with this version of Makarov nearly as much as the first Makarov. But, whatever. Maybe this game will really sell me on him. I don't think that's an impossible thing. So, I definitely think that it could work. I just don't know that I'm feeling it yet. We have some multiplayer rumors as well. We've gotten some suggestions that the game's going to feel a little bit more like Modern Warfare 3 in its movement, but maybe a little bit leaning back towards Modern Warfare 2. So definitely that faster paced movement, but maybe a little bit more weightiness as, compared to Modern Warfare 2. And it seems like we're not going to be getting Omni movement. So that's a little disappointing, because I think honestly that's been my biggest of Black Ops 6 and 7 is just those movement changes. So and I don't know that I think full blown out Omni movement works for Modern Warfare, but I was kind of hoping that they maybe rein in Omni movement a little bit and still use it for for Modern Warfare, because I think it could work. I think, yes, maybe not as turned up to 11 as maybe not as turned up as Black Ops has been, but definitely something that I think is making the game better. It seems like the rumor is that it's going to launch with a mix of remastered maps from the Modern Warfare 3 2011 game and new maps that are designed for the Korean setting. That seems pretty safe of a bet, I would assume, because that seems to be what they basically have done for all the Modern Warfare games. Outside of, I think, 2019. I don't think 2019 launched with any remastered maps. If it did, it wasn't many, I don't think. But I think, like, all the Modern Warfare since then have basically launched, like, with new maps and maybe, like, a few remasters. So, I think that tracks. Pretty safe bet. And then we're getting whatever the upgrade is to the engine. We don't obviously have a lot of details on that, but, you know, next gen, taking advantage of these current consoles because we're not going to be using previous gen anymore. So, yeah, I figure that's going to probably be the case. Also, the rumor is that we're going to obviously get DMZ again. I think that's pretty safe bet. DMZ has been pretty popular. Even now, I've seen a lot of people saying like they still jump into DMZ and still get games pretty fast, so I don't think that's too crazy of an idea either. The current thing too is that there's going to be no Warzone 3, that the current Warzone will continue to just kind of exist and be upgraded. So I think that's pretty telling of where Warzone currently is. I'm to the mindset that we may even hear that Warzone's being maybe put on the back burner a bit, especially because for some reason people really seem to like extraction shooters. Let me rephrase that. If people high up in gaming really like extraction shooters outside of Arc Raiders always seem to come out and just kind of exist with like a singular thousands of players crowd. So I don't really know why we keep putting so much stock into extraction shooters, but that seems to be the thing that we're doing. So I even wonder if DMZ will get a lot more support going forward than like Warzone does after Modern Warfare 4 comes out. So we'll have to see. Only time will tell on that. And obviously we're expecting to see more details about Modern Warfare 4 at the Xbox Game Showcase. That's on June 7th. So I don't think we're going to officially know anything until then, unless they just come out and give us like a quick teaser or give us a title card or something like that. Obviously, if they do that, I will make a video pertaining to that. Most people think the game's probably going to launch about October. I think that's probably a safe bet. With Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in November, they're going to want to get it out a little earlier just to, you know, boost sales. Obviously, Call of Duty, even if Grand Theft Auto comes out, it's probably going to sell alright still, but not really a bad idea to get out in front of it and just try to get a few more sales on it. So, don't think that's crazy. I think that's definitely probably going to happen. But yeah, now I'm going to shift gears to Destiny. I kind of wanted to talk about Destiny because Destiny's a game that I've really enjoyed over the years. I'm a big fan of it. I'm not the biggest fan of the game in the sense of like I'm not gonna try to like say like I've played it every single day or anything like that. But it's a game I liked a lot. I always jumped in for expansions. There were times that I just kind of was like, oh man, I'm in a Destiny mood, and I'd download it, I'd play it, and I've always just kind of been here and there with it, and it's a game that I just have really enjoyed, and I've put a decent amount of time into, and even streamed on this channel before. So, you know, that news about it being shut down, and not shut down, but like, you know, them ending development on the game, because obviously you're still going to be able to play the game. Servers are going to remain up, similar to how Destiny 1, you can still go back and play it currently. But yeah, I think that's such a bummer. Obviously, I really liked jumping in and checking out the expansions, and not being able to do that, it's not very fun, obviously. And now to hear that, you know, they're not moving forward with Destiny 3, it doesn't seem like, and Marathon is kind of their sole project until, you know, hopefully they can get funding to make something else. That's a bummer for me, because I just don't tend to vibe with extraction shooters very much, and I haven't really liked Marathon much. I think maybe I would like Marathon more if they had done some different stuff with it, if we had actually gotten like a single player out of it, and maybe some other kinds of multiplayer modes. Maybe I would have adopted that world a little bit better. But yeah, right now I just don't really see it as something that really interests me. I've done some like digging into like some of the older Marathon games. I do think the lore is kind of neat, and I do think the art style is kind of neat, so I feel like if they did something more with it, made a different kind of multiplayer game, or made a single player game, or even a single player game that had some kind of multiplayer element to it that wasn't an extraction shooter, I do think I could maybe get interested in Marathon to an extent, but with what it is right now, I just don't care about what it is. Extraction just doesn't interest me enough, especially in this form, to play it. I do want to kind of check out like the next iteration of DMZ, because I kind of did like that DMZ, the first round of DMZ, but I never like have loved extraction shooters. It's just like DMZ is probably the most I've gotten into one, so I'll probably check out DMZ 2 also. I'm worried about Bungie. I don't think Marathon's enough to carry them. Like I saw the other day, and again, I know we can't take these kinds of things like as like 100% fact, but like I saw the other day that like Destiny had like 14,000 players on Steam, and Marathon was down to like 7. And there's been talk, like I think it was Paul Tassi from Forbes shared that like Marathon's like biggest player base is on PC. So obviously, if they have 7,000 players on PC, that means they have less on consoles. If that's true, or they have like 7,000 also if like there's like 3,000 on PlayStation, like roughly 3,000 on Xbox. So, you know, those aren't great numbers, obviously. You want your game to be stronger than that, and I don't think the season 2 of Marathon is going to draw enough people back. I honestly think I think you're kind of put yourself in a bad position there too, because if you had any like Destiny players that were playing Marathon that now feel burned by Bungie, like that's even less players you're going to get back potentially. So yeah, I just think this is a really bad situation for Bungie, and I don't really know why they decided this was the right answer, especially when, even though yes, I think Destiny 3 would have been expensive, I also think that like that's an IP that also is worth a lot, and there's a lot of people who have said like, hey, I would come back for Destiny 3. You could sell new expansions, you could sell new cosmetics for Destiny 3. I just think that there's a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money there, and to innovate, and to make even more Destiny games. I mean, you could have even, created smaller Destiny projects as well. So I think it's kind of weird for them to, not see the value of that IP. But anyway, thank you all for listening. Obviously we've gotten the Chroma Flux camo during this gameplay, so thank you all for listening to me babble about, Modern Warfare 4 and Destiny, and I hope this video has been enjoyable, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Please consider liking and subscribing. Peace out, everybody.